is dedicated to Crystal Campbell, age 29, Martin William Richard, age 8, Lindsay Lou, age 23, Sean Collier, age 26, died in the Boston Marathon about 1 year ago, fatally injured. Many other, multiple others, legs and amputees. For this, I promise I will rise up. 600 marchers assembled 50 years ago at Selma on Sunday, March 7th, to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge over the Alabama River en route to Montgomery. Just short of that bridge, they found their way blocked by Alabama state troopers and local police who ordered them to turn around. When the protesters refused, the officers shot tear gas, waded into the crowd, beating the nonviolent protesters with billy clubs, and ultimately hospitalized over 50 people. For this, I will rise up. Martin Luther King called for clergy and all civil rights supporters to come to Selma for the second time on March 9th. As they were crossing the bridge, Martin Luther King saw the troopers. He knelt down on the ground on the bridge. He heard a message. He got up. He walked through the people, even though they were disappointed in him. He walked through the people and just turned around. Everybody turned around. For him hearing that was something against what everybody else wanted him to do. And for being brave enough to hear a message, to be different, and to go against the grain of even the people who loved him and was following him, takes such great courage and guts. For this, I shall rise up. The final and successful march held on March 21st that ultimately brought on that year, 50 years ago in August, the right to vote, the final right to vote, for the persistence, the tenacity, the bravery, the courage of Martin Luther King, Jr., to continue to face what he had to face and to follow through. For this, I get up every morning, but I rise up. I rise up. A woman who was abducted on March 1st of this year, at gunpoint, and tortured for 2 weeks at a rejected suitor, and she was 62 years old and released yesterday. For this, I will rise up. And I will rise up, and I will rise up, and I will rise up, and I'm asking all of you, my friends, as you stay open, to rise up. To rise up. I do not say this. I hear you speak. I do not say this in order to point out things that are bad. I point this out to show you how powerful we are. How powerful just one of us is, and all of us can be, as we come together to create right action, to create right movement, and to continually march on. There are a lot of good things that have happened. A lot of good things that have changed. But for the woman who was abducted March 1st, I and my husband, many of you know my husband, you know, we are constantly moving on. And we talk about retirement, you know, but there's something within us both. As we read things such as this, that we will rise up and that we will continue in any way, shape, or form to bring more light upon this planet and to wake up people as much as we possibly can. We will shake up, wake up, and rise up. But I would prefer that we do not get shook up. It's much better to come together, and aren't we blessed that we openly get to come to any place, to this place or any place, to gather together, to help each other wake up and rise up. And I believe that's what community does. I know that a lot of people like to stay home, and again, you've heard me talk about solo spirituality. But we're on a planet with 7.2 billion people. And this is not a solo adventure. This is about bringing people together for different reasons, but really for different organizations, but for one reason, and it's to make the world a better place. It's to make the world a better place. So just as Kim was saying, is our opportunity to embrace the new and let go of the old. If we raise our fist to the past with anger, you have no open fist to receive the blessings that are right in front of you. If you hold your fist up to saying, this is unjust of what this happened to this woman, I don't do this. Ugh. Because I know that if I'm raising my fist to that injustice, my hands and my arms and my heart cannot be open to the ability and the powers within myself and within our community and in the world at large, to join together to embrace what is new, what is here today. There is a new consciousness rising. When Bob sang the first song, deep in my heart, I really do believe that we will not only overcome, but we are overcoming. I meet people over and over and over again who have overcome their addictions. I've met people over and over and over again who've had tragedy after tragedy after tragedy, and they get up out of bed. Just that in itself deserves a standing ovation. I rise up for that. The incredible strength that all of you have, and the histories that you have had, and the stories that you could tell about how you have rose up, and how you are still rising up. We are entering at this time another, what we would call an accelerated pace of energy. We see things closing down, opening up, closing down, opening up. We see that happening. So we are really energetically going through a very accelerated energetic field right now. I know nothing about numerology, but I do respect many of the people that I know that are working with numerology, and they will call this an epic year. And I ask them, why would you call this an epic year? So astrologers numerologist and astronomy, they will tell me that they've kind of calculated the constellations in the sky. And I am not a mathematical wizard, so I won't go into that, but they've calculated, and they say they have charted over the years that there are certain times within the galactic heavens that there's an enormous amount of energy that comes in. And how they calculate it is this, is that they can absolutely tell by their calculations, even by Galileo way back then, that there were epic years when, such as the Berlin Wall fell. Or even like when the women had the right to vote. So there's some, they match that, this calculation matches with some big events that have happened here upon this planet. So of course they say to me that this is an 8 year, 2015 is an 8 year. They call this the end of illusions. They call this the end of the old patterns. They call this the beginning of the new. They call this order, organization, getting ready, movement, take action. So of course my astrologer woman said, you need to stretch, Janice. You need to stretch beyond what you've ever stretched before. Stretch your body, stretch your mind, stretch your soul, stretch. Do your sacred stretches. Everybody's thinking about collecting Social Security and will they get SS? And I want you to inundate a new SS in your body. I want you to do sacred stretches every day. I want you to think about something that you thought you never could do, or never even would do, or never even try. And just move into a sacred stretch. Move into a sacred